Seriously. We like to think of America as a map fully charted, a land of neon cities, paved highways, and documented history. But if you look closer at the edges of that map, or deep into the pockets where the GPS signal dies, you'll find something else. There are places in this country that simply shouldn't exist, places where the laws of physics are treated as mere suggestions, where time slips, and the creatures of ancient folklore walk under the glow of modern satellites. Tonight, we aren't talking about urban legends. We are talking about documented anomalies, events witnessed by police officers, scientists, and military personnel. From the blood-stained soil of Utah to the haunted corridors of Los Angeles, we are diving into the American abyss. I'm your host, and you're watching GoruFacts. If you're ready to see what's hiding in the shadows, let's begin. Before we descend into our first location, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt a presence watching you in a place where you were supposedly alone? Tell me your story in the comments. And if you crave the unexplained, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. We explore the world's darkest mysteries every single week, and you don't want to be left in the dark. Now, our first stop is a place that science has tried and failed to explain for decades. Deep in the Uinta Basin of Utah lies 512 acres of red rock and high desert. To the outside world, it's just a ranch. To the local Navajo tribes, it is a forbidden zone. They call it the Path of the Skinwalker, a place where malevolent witches shift their shapes to terrorize the living. In 1994, the Sherman family purchased this land. They wanted a quiet life raising cattle, but on the very first day, they were greeted by a wolf. This wolf was massive, 3 times the size of any timber wolf. It approached them calmly, almost like a pet, but then it snapped. It grabbed a calf by the head through the bars of a corral. Terry grabbed his .35 Magnum and fired at point-blank range. The bullet didn't even make the creature flinch. He fired again and again, 6 shots in total. The wolf simply let go of the calf, looked at Terry with cold, unblinking eyes, and walked away. Terry followed the tracks for a mile until they simply stopped. In the middle of an open field, the footprints vanished as if the beast had taken flight. But the wolf was just the beginning. The Shermans reported blue orbs, fist-sized spheres of light that seemed intelligent. One night, their 3 dogs chased one of these orbs into the brush. The family heard 3 agonizing yelps, then silence. When Terry went to find them, all that remained were 3 patches of scorched earth and a pile of liquefied flesh. Since then, billionaires and government-funded scientists have occupied the ranch. They've recorded radiation spikes that appear out of nowhere and portals opening in the sky. To this day, the ranch remains one of the most heavily guarded and scientifically baffling locations on Earth. From the open desert, we move to the concrete jungle of downtown Los Angeles, 640 South Main Street, the Cecil Hotel. Built in the 1920s as a masterpiece of luxury, it soon became a monument to misery. The hotel has been the site of at least 16 non-natural deaths and countless suicides. It was the temporary home of the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, who would return to his room covered in blood after his killing sprees, unnoticed by a staff used to the darkness of the building. But the mystery that haunts the internet is that of Elisa Lam. In 2013, the young student vanished. The last footage of her is from an elevator camera. It is haunting. She is seen hiding in corners, pressing all the buttons, and talking to someone or something in the hallway that isn't there. Her hands move in bizarre, unnatural contortions. Weeks later, after guests complained of black, foul-tasting water, her body was found in a sealed water tank on the roof. The door to the roof was alarmed. The tank lid was too heavy for one person to close from the inside. How did she get in, and who was she hiding from? Some believe the Cecil isn't just a hotel, it's a gateway that draws in the broken and feeds on their energy. In southeastern Massachusetts, there's a 200-square-mile area known as the Bridgewater Triangle. It is a super paranormal zone where every type of high strangeness occurs simultaneously. Witnesses have reported thunderbirds, giant birds with wingspans of over 15 feet that look like they belong in the prehistoric era. Others speak of pookwudgies, gray, knee-high humanoid creatures from Wampanoag folklore that lure people to their deaths over the edges of cliffs. But the most frequent sightings are black triangles, UFOs that hover silently over the Hockomock Swamp. Police officers have chased these objects for them to accelerate at speeds that would crush a human pilot. The swamp itself is said to be cursed, a site of ancient battles where the restless spirits of warriors still walk. In the triangle, the veil between our world and the next is paper thin. Our final stop is everywhere, America's national parks. Millions of acres of breathtaking beauty. But within these parks, a terrifying pattern has emerged, documented by researcher David Paulides. He calls it Missing 411. People are vanishing, thousands of them, and they vanish in a specific set of impossible circumstances. They vanish in clusters, often near granite rocks or berry bushes. Tracking dogs, trained to find anything, will often pick up a scent and then suddenly cower in fear, refusing to follow it any further. When bodies are found, they are often miles away from where they vanished, in terrain that would take a professional hiker days to cross. Yet the victims are often toddlers or the elderly. And the strangest detail, their shoes. In case after case, the victims' shoes are found neatly placed miles away from the body with no signs of wear or struggle. Is there a predator in our woods that we haven't classified? Or is the earth itself opening up and taking people back? When you walk into the American wilderness, remember, the silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's a warning. America is a land of secrets, from the high-tech sensors of Skinwalker Ranch to the silent woods of our national parks. The unknown is always closer than we think. Which of these places scares you the most? Would you spend a night at the Cecil Hotel for $1 million? Let me know in the comments below. And if you crave the unexplained, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. We explore the world's darkest mysteries every single week, and you don't want to be left in the dark. Now, our first stop is a place that science has tried and failed to explain for decades.